Yeah, child of God. That's kind of what it's like to fight against all bad. When I came to, so when I showed up as the babushka lady, I was announcing that I was going to bring technology to this planet. Angels with bad, gross behaviors or desires, devils, demons, good gods, bad gods. Everyone started fighting against it since the babushka lady. Because a lot of futuristic and technology makes a lot of safety and easy access to 911. And bad forces don't like you to stop all the murder. Bad gods or an angel that's getting a gross bad desire, they want a butcher factory of pigs, and they'll do anything so you goddamn don't stop it. So see, a good God like me wants you to kill the pigs in the most beautiful, amazing way, where the pigs are kind of just shocked out of nowhere but never understand what they've been through at all. And then they just go to heaven to be with God, and life is good. Now, God's got some issues, so they might be going to temporary holding tank type heavens and stuff. But when you go to a heaven, they're all so amazing that you ain't gonna notice. And there's no way they would send you into a heaven that's tumultuous with an enemy near it or whatever. So, but yeah, that's the fight of all good against all bad. So I got to Earth and I made technology through a bunch of gods. And everybody who likes murder and bad things like rape and murder and serious crime and sickening things like excessive rape and murder were the reason technology was all weird and shady and shaky, and the technology just would not work. Because I guarantee internet companies didn't do anything different. It was all the same connections. It took me as a monumental dead god that long to fight with enemy bad forces and win, and be able to sit there like a wall and say, I'm going to have technology and you're not going to win. And that was a moment I kind of got arrogant and I was pretty cocky. I might totally win this, but towards the end, as they were, killing me without limit or mercy, I actually had talks with angels about how I might not make it, because you wouldn't want a good angel to not be ready for that. If you think a baby is sad when they'll cry next to their parents' grave for so long, you have no idea how bad an angel can get. But I ended up winning all the way through, so I thought, well, then I'm just going to be arrogant and fight the biggest, worst fight ever known. But at least now the children of God don't have to feel crappy. Like, oh my gosh, my mom's a loser. And Jesus used to walk around at the streets. And Mom and Jesus never had a church, never had a house that they'd want, or a church at all, but ever anything they'd want. And they are the house of God. And I understand, children of God, that it's not fun to be the children of God, because you're always connected to the stupid, loser, idiot reality of good, stupid gods trying to fight for a better, safe, good tomorrow and stupid shit. And they always look so goddamn stupid, fighting so stupidly. And I'll take part of the blame. I'm the dead mother that sacrificed myself for my stupid children that were turning on me and talking shit about me. But I felt bad because they were turning on me and talking shit with a murder-happy son they did not know became murder-happy. So I sacrificed my whole death. When I sacrificed my death, I was the only thing making a haunted house not kill you in 1 second for fun like it's nothing. In death, I wasn't going to be able to help every god obtain perfect safety or anything until I had one overall at the end. I struggled and struggled, and when it was really important, I would fight with everything I had. So see, that technology symbolized it. That technology to me was the symbol of the best things I can provide for children of God, to have good access to a billion avenues that they need. So I wasn't going to let go of the fight of that technology, and ultimately I won. Evil God enemies wanted that technology to never, ever work. And always be shady, always take forever, because you could murder somebody in a couple minutes. And technology wouldn't provide an amazing future for children of God or anybody else. And I was adamant that I might be the dead thing that hasn't won yet, and I'm still in constant perpetual death trying to win. But I wanted the children of God to have technology. I brought it through the babushka lady right next to President Kennedy for a reason. President Kennedy was the most favorite president of the children of God out of all presidents. I had a dream and I didn't let it go, but that's what it's like to fight everything bad all the time. It's always like that. You are fighting the forces of 5 billion things that don't want you to win and will not get off of the channel of I don't want what I don't want. I'm the criminal who thinks I'm God. And if you think it's gross and bad when criminals do that, I think I'm God weirdo shit. Just watch a good God turn bad or an evil God enemy. Bad gods are very, very sickening. They know they shouldn't even be God anymore. But they have the power, they have the title, and you have no idea how they will use and abuse it all sickeningly. Just take everything I've ever created to create the worst crimes and sickening things because they know I can't stand it. I can't handle harm. The guy that's fixing the belt, he has like a hole in his finger. I want to die. I can't take it. Like, if it's more than a scratch, I can't stand it. So, of course, I'm going to make sure that thing heals abnormally, perfectly, unrealistically, and check anything else he needs for his health and well-being. Because by the time I give him powers to say thank you for helping me with the belt, it wouldn't be that beautiful of a gratitude if he's got health problems or other issues too. But yeah, children of God, that's what it's like. I told them I told all my evil God enemies in front of all gods, in front of everybody. I showed up as that babushka lady. Now, I was still in the battle against everything bad, so I couldn't say, I'm the Bonnie Annika in this babushka lady look, and God damn it, one day I'm going to get you or something. I couldn't do that, because then it would be worse and worse and worse. And I never say much, but I may have created my son that murdered me, but he became a very smart, out of control nightmare. So you still have to make smart moves. Everybody does. The scary part of this end of the world is that my son's beyond everything. He was one of my biggest and best creations. I've learned to keep things controllable, but like it doesn't change that I wanted to be a mom that didn't keep my children down. But boy, doesn't mean shit anymore. But in reality, in life, there is one thing that will never change. Murder is easy to get addicted to. And they will all turn crazy, weirdo, gross. And it just never fucking ends until you goddamn destroy it. And that's all that evil, bad things are. It's that easy to get turned on because you see some naked body in some adult magazine with like a murder scenario. That tells you right there anyone can become a murderer, get addicted to how gross they are, and fucking take it into the oblivion. And when you take murder into the oblivion, you become gross and insane and weird and disgusting. You're like a diseased animal that has to be destroyed. And nobody ever wants to admit to that. They just put them in jails, prisons, penitentiaries, and more, and watch them act normal and decide whether they're ever going to give into their diseased animal side again, or whether the prosecution punishments aren't worth it for them or whatever. And that's all life is down here, is a crock of shit and putting up with shit and allowing shit. But yeah, you are a very, very smart child of God. Because, yep, It was one of the biggest, worst, hardest battles I ever faced. Making technology something people can't fuck with and turn it all weird and shady and take forever. Took forever to just fight against it all so I could just have normal technology. I did advance the technology, so you guys started with those big clumpy cell phones. Those big clumpy, so I left the big clumpy cell phones because gods really love making cool, badass, big, huge things like that. So I let the cell phones start really big and huge, kind of similar to what soldiers and the military use to communicate. Sometimes they have these big, cool communication things. And I thought humanity would love bonding with the badass heroes of the United States and having the big, clumpy phone. And they did. And then I just kept advancing technology. So there was always an advance to technology, but if you're a really smart expert, all of the technology since the beginning should have worked just fine or been all similar. So the fact that the internet didn't work all the goddamn time, the internet got weird and gray and shady all the goddamn time, life went up and down all the goddamn time, would tell you that, yeah, there was some monumental fight or something weird. And that's what it was. Evil God enemies don't like easy access to safety. They don't like it. They hate it. Evil God enemies have hated me forever because they can't beat me. So my own son has killed me without limit and mercy. So my own son reinvents how to kill me without limitation all the time for so many years. And I still can make sure a haunted house is barely nothing compared to what evil God and evil demon giants can do to anything in a second. It was a really big decision to give the 666 as property to evil God enemies. And it was only because their crimes were that fucking sickening. But one day, experts are going to walk into a haunted house and realize haunted houses are more scary and more unrealistic and massive and horrifying than they've ever been. Yeah, I finally let go of holding on, and it feels great. Some things you just shouldn't take care of. And it was a hard lesson for me.